know, right?
Back 5
Where
seconds ago.
right,
You had your little phone.
okay, so when I got home from leaving my marriage, I had no money, no job, I had no support, and what happened was I had this first job that I was gonna take, right? And I needed service on my phone, and with that, having no support and I had no job, I had no way to pay for my phone bill. Okay. So I asked people, can you pay for my phone? No one, you know, having no support. Okay, that's fine. So I was just like, let's figure this out. All of a sudden my phone bill gets paid. So I ask around me, did you pay for my phone bill? I asked my friends in Texas, my friends in Colorado that I knew, like, hey, did you happen to pay my phone bill? Asking my parents, who paid my phone bill? No one paid my phone bill. And that was just confirmation for me that that was God's source. You know, he was taking care of me to get this job. So I get this job and I have this car, this $80,000 car that I was driving. I don't have it anymore. It gets taken away. I parked wrong somehow and it ended up getting towed. And I was just like, whatever, you know, I didn't have the funds to afford it. It was a loss already in my mind. So I ended up getting this hoopty ass little car. I ended up picking out it was a Volkswagen Beetle because I used to drive a Beetle with my stepdaughter. And so it just, just reminded me of her, but it was old. So driving it, I ended up, I broke the radiator and trying to fix it. It ended up getting blown up into flames. I didn't have a car. And I was like, okay, well, how am I going to get to work with no car, right? So I'm having to Uber everywhere, back and forth. And I was like, in it, paying for my Uber, and then this Uber man, all of a sudden ends up giving me free rides to my work, to home, after school. It'd be like 10 at night. I'd have to get a ride from after school all the way home where I was living. And sure enough, every place that I needed to go to, I was there because I was meant to go there. And every time I needed food, I was fed. Every time I needed anything I needed, God provided me with. And that is how I got my start, because I believed, I had faith, all because of my phone bill being paid by who? Who knows? Who knows? It's still a mystery to me, but in that moment, my mind frame changed to have unbelievable faith, because if no one was able to pay my phone bill, I just knew in my heart that that was God's source. That was him taking care of me, because my heart, I just let all the negativity of everything that had happened to me. And I was just love. I was just joy, peace. I was so happy to be away from where I was, that nothing, no obstacle, no anything in my way was going to stop me from just being happy and being peaceful and peace of mind, and peace in my heart. And that's all I ever wanted. And from there to here I am at now, helping women, just starting companies, wanting to just fulfill my mission and my purpose, to show everyone like the real truth to health, happiness, well-being, like how we're really meant to care for ourselves and love ourselves, and our purpose in life, our whole purpose for life. So confirmation.
Wow, V. It's incredible. It's incredible. Started from the bottom, now we up.
All from heart. Like, it's all from heart, because when I left, I didn't care about money. I literally cried and begged to God, get me out of here. I just want to help people. And that's what I remember saying when I left. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care if I have to work 3 jobs. I don't care if I'm homeless. Get me out of here. And all I want to do is help people. And boom, like, sure enough, he's like, all right, I heard you.
Well, you shifted the focus from poor me to like, how can I be of service? And you found your life purpose through helping the elderly, and you were working for other people. And I remember you telling me like over a year ago when we started working together, when you're like, just the way that they're treated, the system is corrupt, like it's just not right. Like, these people deserve better treatment. And you were like, who is gonna do it if it's me? Like, I'm already here. Like, I'm meant to do this. You were like, Dasha, like, I gotta do this on my own. I gotta start my own business. And I was like, let's go. And look
Yeah,
at
I was actually working at a facility and I was walking the halls and I just got this sort of like, I don't know, vision or download. And it was like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to be doing. And I got those words, this is what you're going to be doing. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I didn't know at the time, but slowly but surely, the universe shifted. And it's like this house that I tried to rent, even though I can't start my business. It's still the obstacle of not having no clients. Like, I still got shifted into a bigger establishment, a bigger property, a bigger space. And it was just like, it's so beautiful to watch how everything, even though it may not be what it is, and it's a hurdle and obstacle, it's something better on the other side, or whatever that may be. It's just patience and trusting in the beauty of all of it. And that creation happens. And it's so beautiful. And I've just been doing all this inner work. It's all inner work, my emotions, elevating my emotions, eating right, and knowing in my being that I'm doing everything that I meant to be doing with my faith and the inner work.
Yeah. And you said you keep doing your daily rituals.
Yes, daily rituals. And I learned about these 7 pyramids. It's like kind of what we do with the 7 daily rituals, but it's also an incorporation of qigong, yoga, and ice bath. I haven't done the ice bath, but qigong and yoga, oh my gosh, I'm just a whole nother completely different. I feel like I'm just more aligned in light and love with everything that I do. Morning too, when like this whole retrograde, I'm like, I gotta play my Ho'oponopono. I gotta play my Ho'oponopono every morning, because it's just people's energy right now affects me. And even though I shield, I do my best to shield. Sometimes, it just happens. I think it's with certain people.
The thing is, the emotions, they want to seek, they seek an outlet. So sometimes it is easier to get them out through screaming, through running, through a physical change of state of physiology. Because it's a physical, like a release, like purge of the emotion.
Yeah.
There's like 2 ways, right, to change the emotional state: through physiology, so you can move around, through facial expression, changing your facial expression, or like learning how to change the thought process. So sometimes for me, it's easiest, like if I really am spiraling, to go on a run, or like go into the ocean, or go scream into a pillow, like something that is like abrupt, that will like when I'm running, like I can't think of anything else, and my mind just, or dancing, like just something that helps.
Yes, dancing is so, like, it's medicine for me now. It's movement is energy, movement. Ugh, yes.
You're amazing.
I'm in connection with my body, my mind, my spirit, everything that I am. Like, I know myself, and I know people better than they know themselves. And I can't really say that, I can't be like, this is what's wrong with you. I'm at the point where I've gotten frustrated with other people, and I shouldn't do that. And my meditation yesterday was, I know Jesus spoke in parables to try to get his point across. And I have to be like, okay, I may not speak in parables, but I have to understand this person and just love unconditional, give them love and not be triggered by the things that they do.
Right.
And that's what I'm working on right now.
Because the trigger, remember, it just means that it's part of the story that you still need to work out.
Yes, I know so well. And I acknowledge it. I acknowledge everything that my triggers point out to me. So I'll sit in meditation and just be like, okay, why is this coming up? Why am I having these bad thoughts? And all my answers get answered. And it's like, I don't know if I'm channeling like directly to God's source, but it's different now. It's a whole different, it's not me. It's just a whole different, like what's coming into me, you know, words that are coming into me. Cause when I'm direct, it's just like, you are powerful, you're beautiful, you're here for a purpose, you are divine source, you are a gift, you know, you're magic, you're all this, you know, and it's just like, whew, it's a lot of goodness in there.
And look at you, like you understand who you are. You feel it, you smell it, you touch it, and you're going in and in and in and in. You're prioritizing your inner work above all else, and then the outer, all the unwanted things just kind of fade into the distance. All life surprises don't catch you off your balance. Like you're able to bring yourself back because you know that life is full of surprises. Otherwise, it would be exciting.
Of course. So like when things happen, like this loan doesn't get approved, it's just like, I feel like it's the universe testing faith. Like, you know, here we go. What are you guys gonna do? How are you guys gonna act? You know, and it's everyone else is like, ah!
The higher you get, the more connected you get to your truth, your wisdom, the infinite possibilities that exist here, the more and more perceived obstacles come to test your faith, to see if you've really mastered what you say you've mastered. Because the only way to see it is by what's happening around, what's being reflected back. Like, can you stay like balanced while there's a tornado? Like, can you approach life in a meditative state no matter what happens around, or no matter what even happens to your body? Because sometimes the body goes through transformation, and maybe you have really bad periods, and that's okay. Like, just being the observer instead of going into why is this happening.
I've learned that a lot too. Like, I'm all emotion, and when I'm full of emotion, I feel it and it makes me sick, and other people's emotion too. And so just that, I have to know truly who I am, what I'm dealing with at all times, because I don't ever want to be sick because of my emotions or my buildup or other people. You know, I've worked too hard. And for me now, it's like, I'm going to state my truth, whether you like it or not, because I'm here. I've worked too hard, done too much, worked too hard on my mental health, my mental peace to even trickle down. I'm here. And if you're here, you got to meet me here, because I don't come down here. I stay here, and I'm up here, you know? I'm here.
Level up,
baby.
Level up. So what's been the biggest thing you think in learning how to let go of relationships that you feel like are not serving, so you can allow for new stuff? What do you think has been the biggest shift recently in tuning into this trust and letting what doesn't serve kind of dissipate?
The biggest obstacle for me right now is not hurting people's feelings in the process of me evolving and growing. You know, people are here for maybe just a limited time to where I'm at, somehow helping me in some sort of way, but I'm always going up. So if you're not going to come up with me, I have to leave you behind. But I also want you to understand that I'm here for those people that fall off too. Like, I want to be the example. I want you to see how I live, see what I do, see my daily rituals, see the foods that I eat, the meditations that I do, the exercises that I do, because I want you, the person that is in my life, to take that and use that as an example for you to utilize and come up on your own, you know. That is what I'm trying to do, and also my triggers too with people that I'm around.
You are a beacon of liberation, you know.
And also, I love that. I do feel that. And yesterday when I had this epiphany, and I cried ugly because it was so beautiful. Like my message with when all my obstacles just dissipated, and I just saw me giving to others, like helping out in such a big way, like a humanitarian. Like I feel like it's sort of like a Princess Diana, how she gave to others, you know, fed the homeless, fed those little cute Black babies, you know, and just went over and did missions. And that's what my calling is. And it's much bigger than just a community, you know, it's worldly.
Remember, that's what we talked about before this round, before we started working together this time, when you were saying, oh, I don't need much, I already have enough, like, oh, we've made plenty of money, that's good enough. And then I was like, wait, you got hands, you're growing fast, you got eyes, you got a clear mind, you can walk. You're not creating all this just for you. You can have space for so much more. Remember, and you were like, oh, you're right. Like, we can have bigger visions just so we can give more to the people that maybe don't have all the gifts that we have and all the ability and coherent mind, because there's a lot of people out there that need us.
Yeah, I always knew from the beginning that I was meant to help women in my shoes, always. And it's so beautiful because I saw this woman, she was knocking on doors. Remember I told you how I met this first girl in my first year back, and I couldn't say anything to her and I couldn't give her anything because I was working. Another woman comes to the house, knocks on the door, asking for donations. This is my story. This is what I'm working on. And so Trey, I was in my room and Trey's like, you might want to talk to this woman. And I'm just like, I look at her and I'm like, I'm looking at myself in your eyes, you know, I am you. And I tell her my story. I tell her this is exactly what we're working on. She was like in some, not institution, but it was just like a helping shelter, helping women getting into like different careers and just helping. I forgot the name of it, but I was like, whoa, this is exactly what we're doing. I had invited her in to do sound healing, but she couldn't come in because she was working, but I got her phone number and I invited her to the next ceremony. And it's like, everything is, that I'm meant to do. I'm looking at it, you know, it's so beautiful.
You know what I love so much about you is how absolutely and totally you are to the present moment. So present, like with whatever happens, like you hear the intuition, like you trust it. Trey was like, come, you gotta, like, I'm sure you were in the middle of something, but you were like, whoa, like there's an impulse to go over there. And that was so healing, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like she needed to hear that too. And it was a message that just poured out of my mouth. And it was just so beautiful and so touching. I wanted to give her a hug, but I just didn't because of COVID and all that, you know. But it was just so beautiful to hear her story, and it was similar, absolutely the same, no difference. And my whole thing was I never wanted any woman to go through what I went through when I left my marriage. I left, it may have looked like I was okay, but inside I was sick. I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't even get up I wasn't myself. And it was all my emotions making me sick. I thought I was going crazy. I'd rush to the hospital. Like, what is wrong with me? There's something not right. Of course they didn't know, you know, they just want to put you on thinking that you're depressed or anxiety and all this. But I literally prayed to God, begged him, teach me how to make myself better, show me. And sure enough, all these things, meditation, yoga, breath work, I knew nothing about it. I knew not one thing about meditation, not one thing about conscious deep breathing, not one thing. Like my mind has expanded. Eating the foods that I eat have changed my mind. It's just bizarre. I mean, it's not bizarre, it's beautiful. It's like how we're meant to really function. People don't really know how normal and being alive, you know, I want to change that. I am change for tomorrow.
You are the change. She believed she could, so she did.
Yes.
And for all the women out there that may be in dysfunctional relationships that may be watching this right now, what do you gotta give them? What do you gotta say to them, sister?
Gosh. If it's toxic, if it's making you feel unworthy and an ugly vibration, let it go. It's not the end of the world. You have love. Love yourself. And what we don't really understand is loving yourself, giving that love to yourself, letting God lead your way, letting your family just love you unconditionally in this light. We're all here to love and experience life, not to be miserable with someone breaking us down. It's not natural, and these people just don't realize that mental health is a big issue. And I want them to realize that, and I want them to have a place to come to heal, to be loved, to surrender, to just, if they need sleep, let them sleep for a week with no disturbance, no toxic anything, because it's so hard when you leave an abusive relationship. Where are you going to go to heal? No one's going to take you in with no money. No one's going to take you in with no job. No one's going to take you in because you can't provide for yourself. And it's so sad. Your own family won't support you. Your own friends won't support you. And that's why God, source, whatever you want to say, that's why he isolated me. I went to my closest friends to try to heal, and they were ugly to me, not because they knew, but because they were doing the best that they could, and I have to give that to them. And I'm so grateful for that. So I was bouncing around. I had to go from one couch to another couch, from one toxic person to another toxic person, because they were all toxic at first, wanting to try to help me out, which I get, like, yes, thank you. But deep down inside, they're all toxic. And I couldn't be around that after already leaving an abusive, toxic marriage when I just needed to heal. So God isolated me, made me homeless, made me live in my car by myself. And I was more happier by myself in my car, searching for my own healing and healing on my own. And I did it. And I was patient. And he put me in a $4 million home. Like, how does that work? Like, that is all love. That is all faith. Like, this, my life and the things that happen aren't because of luck or anything. It's all God. It's all source. He's the one providing for me, and I've done the work to where I don't need anyone but him. And he's showing me. And the only person I want to spoil me is him. I don't need no one else. So I'm always like, spoil me rotten, God. And here he is. He's always stepping up to the plate. Or I always say he, but whatever you'd like to call it.
Intervening, yeah.
Intervening.
We're used to saying he. It's all good.
Yeah.
You are so beautiful. And for those who haven't met me, like Alma, she came and she was just like a little bird when we met, like a little over a year ago. And now, like, flourishing in power. She knew she already had it. She just needed one person to see her. One person.
I knew, it's funny because I knew that I had a little bit of power before I got married, and then I lost all my power in my marriage by the hands of someone else. And I just knew that power was still there, and you just brought it out in me. And it was all emotional work. That first day when I went to your church, that's the kind of church that really should exist. That's the kind of church that needs to be indoctrinated in everything. It was so beautiful. It was just everything that I needed, because it really healed me in a way that no Christian, no Catholic church would ever, because it was all inner emotion, inner connection with that. And it's beautiful. And that's what I want to bring to everybody, because I know that I'm so set, and I'm so sure that it worked for me, that I would put my life on it. My life is on it. My life is on the line to helping out others. That's why I'm so dedicated and so, like, just willing to do all that I'm doing for other people to show them that healing is possible. It is possible. We don't have to live with depression, anxiety, stress, lower vibrations that make us diseased, sick.
So strong. You're amazing. I salute you. I salute you. Yes, yes, yes.
All I want to
yes,
do is be
yes,
natural.
yes, yes. You
In my
are,
bare feet.
you're amazing. Amazing. You're an inspiration, a role model, a true healer.
I know that I'm still in my process, but even in your process, you can still help whoever needs help. I'm willing to help anyone, but also I know that this isn't the end for me. This is just the stairway to heaven that I'm climbing. And it's so.
Hello, we lost you. You said it's so. Here, you're back.
Well, where was I at? It's such a beautiful journey. Yeah, I'm on the stairway and I love the journey. And even though there's obstacles, people don't realize and don't take the time to really love the journey. They're so stressed. They're full of anxiety. I saw people like on drugs and trying to, chase the drugs because the uncertainty in the journey, and they didn't have that, faith that everything was going to be okay. And I don't want them to turn to drugs or anything like that. That's not for their well-being.
Well, it's that inability to face the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Where like we haven't been taught that it's normal when it feels like the world is crashing on the inside. It's not just our world, it's everybody's world because we're part of the collective.
Yes.
And when we use like drink tea, like use healthy alternatives, take a bath, run, like to allow for it to pass, like we gotta trust that it's gonna pass. Like
yeah.
Else, like all emotions, they pass through the heart. Like all pain, it passes through. We're just the empty vessel to let it pass. If we get attached to it, then we let it be stuck in the body. We don't let it pass, and that's where it keeps coming up and up and up. And it tries to isolate us. It tries to put people in our way that project it back so we can wake up, so we can let it go. And sometimes it does mean having nothing for us to wake up.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The universe literally put my life upside down, shook it like this, made sure nothing was in there, and then was like, okay, you could start your life over, and it was so beautiful because I literally lost everything. When I tell you everything, my life was in Colorado. I had a whole ass life, like my whole day, and when you lose that, I went through a mourning not having dogs. I went through a mourning not having children, mourning just my whole life, and it was just so beautiful because my peace of mind was what I gained. And that's priceless.
And I am so excited for you to start sharing the stories of the beautiful people who are clients, family, now friends, who are with you on this journey and transitioning from this life into the infinite out of the body, and how strong you are to be able to be holding space for that, for that rebirth, for that death, which is rebirth.
Yeah, it was a whole lot for me, this whole awakening to. It was bittersweet, but it was beautiful.
You are amazing. I'm just plugging in my computer. Oh, wow. What a story. I'm glad we were able to capture this.
I know.
It's your moment. Create yourself. I mean, after all,
you gotta be yourself, cause everyone else is so taken. You gotta shine so bright, love so deep, but if you know they don't like you, can't stop watching you. You know why they don't like you, right? It's because they wanna be you. Because you're in your power. Because you're doing what you love. You realize who you are, and you seize the moment, and you grab what's yours, and you own it. Nothing can stop you now. You're gonna seize this moment. This is your time to shine. You're gonna seize the moment. Nothing can stop you now. You're gonna seize the moment. You're gonna seize it now. Let's do it right, love on it. No one can stop you now. This is your
your shorts are green.
time. No one can stop you now.
Look.
This moment, no one can stop you. You got to fight this moment. No one can stop you now. This is your time. Just own it. Express yourself, my love. Sing, dance, and speak this moment. Your presence, your own life magic. In this moment, this is the love you see right now. In this moment, all you want is yours right now. In
This moment.
You know, this moment, right now, is the only moment that is real. And the next moment,
Look,
and
it
the
looks like
next.
it's floating.
Life is nothing more than moments, presence. So live in the now, elevate your vibrations, and don't ever apologize for being who you are. You
are a star.
You are loved. You are good enough. You are amazing.